Hello and welcome to another Analysis Behind the News, where we provide the perspective that you can use to help save American liberty and independence. Now, over the weekend, Senator John McCain succumbed to brain cancer a day after he decided to stop his cancer treatment. In the past, we've been critical of Senator McCain, and today we won't be hypocritical, focusing on his voting record. Senator McCain will be laid to rest in about a week at the U.S. Naval Academy, where he graduated in 1958, near the very bottom of his class. He'll be laid to rest next to his classmate, who graduated at the top of his class. He served in the U.S. Navy from 1958 to 1981, and then went into politics, first as a U.S. representative for Arizona in 1982, and then in 1987 he was elected U.S. Senator, holding that office for the remainder of his life. In 2016, we produced a short 11-minute video highlighting Senator McCain's voting record and his contribution to the Republican Party that he helped to shape in his 3 decades of political service. We focused on 5 major issues. These were preemptive war, his involvement with foreign nations, his membership in the Council on Foreign Relations, and his views on free trade and big government. We offered that while he had all the attributes of being a conservative politician, his voting record would show otherwise. Our news magazine has been tracking the voting of individual congressmen since at least the early to mid-1980s. Congressmen adhering to the Constitution earn a higher score than those who do not. Now, a mere 2 years into Representative McCain's political career, he was earning a cumulative score in the low 80s, meaning that he was true to his oath of office of supporting the Constitution about 80-some% of the time. Now, while we would rather see a higher score close to 100, being in the 80s gives his constituents something to work with, if they are holding him accountable. But when he became a U.S. Senator, his scores dropped and hovered in the 60s and 70s throughout much of the late 1980s and 1990s. By 2007, he had hit about rock bottom with a 36%. Now in 2009, he skyrocketed to 92%, but then fell back to about 35% in 2017, just before he left Congress to seek cancer treatment. Today, the New American lists his overall cumulative score at 62%. Now, had he kept his focus on obeying American constitutional limitations, his scores should have built up over time, which would have allowed him to finish much, much stronger. However, if there was any confusion as to what he was hoping to accomplish, this was cleared up just months into the newly elected Trump administration. The New American had reported in March of 2017 that Senator McCain complained that the New World Order was under enormous strain, amid what he described as a titanic struggle with forces of radicalism, and that American and European globalists can't just stand by and lament, we've got to be involved. Now, McCain was quoted from the online EU Observer, and the New American continues. In other words, those who oppose his vision of globalism and big government are radical. Meanwhile, those who support his extremist vision of never-ending unconstitutional war, the erosion of national sovereignty, and an end run around the U.S. Constitution's limits on government are the moderates. So his globalist focus for helping build a new world order downgraded his scores, obviously. But this merely points out a much larger problem within American politics, especially within the leadership of the Republican Party. They are no longer the party of limited government, fiscal responsibility, and national independence. It seems that adherence to the Constitution is no longer their first priority. And if any of this is news to you, we encourage you to learn more of this dangerous trend to American liberties and sovereignty by watching our video series on NeoConservatives, including the short video on Senator McCain. Then, look up your congressman to see what scores they have earned. Then contact them to let them know how they are doing. A proactive activity that JBS members have done and continue to do is to take reprints of the latest Freedom Index to share with fellow constituents in a congressional district. This helps to build pressure on the congressman, knowing that folks at home are watching what they're doing. They took an oath to the Constitution, and it's time that you demand that they follow it. So links are in the video description, and please like and share and subscribe to our social media channels and news alerts. And until next time, we'll see you then.